PSGL, PST Season 3, F4 tier, round number 1 at Portugal. I am your commentator, Ionian, or Jared Fosbury as you guys know me as. Was commentating last season of the F4 tier. At the start of the season I believe it was Felix and... I can't remember the other commentator, but it was Felix, then it was me and Felix, and I took over for the remainder of the season. I will have a co-commentator, but not today, unfortunately he's at work. That is TNR ZE3 or Sondra Sohaug. He will be tuning in for next week's comms and for the remainder of the season. So we're very excited for round number 1 as everybody is now readying up as we have a 20 car grid, which is great to see, especially around Portugal. We've got a couple of guys who were fighting for the championship last season. We've Gustav, we've got Simlix Martin, I think Shane was one of the drivers last season, Freaky Fast. So it's going to be a very exciting season hopefully with these guys, hopefully fighting for another title. They've got no DV, they've got no Black Phoenix. As we already have a comment. We've already got people cheering on Shane already, so he looks like a fit for Davey. As we're moving into qualifying then. As loading has complete and the qualifying session has begun then, so luckily no one can join midway through quali because it can cause glitch, can cause a glitch, and some of the glitches where if you did join it would light on the race, you won't be able to start, it'd leave on the lights, and another glitch is that the qualifying time for them would be extended. However, for the people who already started the session there, qualifying time is normal, so luckily we don't have to worry about any glitches of that sort for qualifying. Hopefully we have no glitches in the race, touch wood. But who is going to be first out then at the pit lane to set the banker lap for qualifying? And I will go for my top 4 prediction. I'm going to go with Gustav on pole, that's second. Third I'm going to go with Terra Racer. And 4th, I'm going to go with Rowan. I think Rowan could get 4th in quali. That's my top 4 for today. And we do have some interesting weather information. The race is apparently going to be wet, so I have to wait and see how that is. So a lot of people will be going on the dries instantly. We already have a car in the pit lane. That is an Aston Martin. Is that Shane? It's not. It is TTG underscore now warp. I believe that is. I'm just going to call him TTG underscore now. It's a warp or something like that. Get used to these names. Some of these names I ain't commentated before. Some of these guys are new to F4. Oh then, the Aston Martin then is the first one on the track. On the soft compounder tyre with the number 25 on the back end. Hopefully Aston Martin can do well this season, as it looked like Rowan and Slimbo, who were teammates last season in the Aston Martin, got very close to constructors. Unfortunately they didn't win it. Let's see if TG underscore on a warp and Shane can do the business in the Aston Martin team. As we're currently in the second sector right now. And remember, you're going to have to watch out for track limits through 1, 2, 3, 4 and 5, and also especially turn 8 with the track limits. However, apparently this patch has fixed a couple of track limits on this game, so still got to be careful from the briefing. Oh, the Aston Martin goes on the curb, looks like he almost lost there. As he now picks up the pace to start his first flying lap in the first season for the F4 tier. As here comes, now up then, down the long straight, uphill. Now back down to the flat side of the track. He's going to go downhill in a second as his lap has begun. Just going on board as he passes the Williams and the Alfa Romeo. Nice and tidy through turn 1, just keeps within track limits there into 2. Now get a heavy braking zone into 3, stays in 3rd gear, runs a bit wide. Trying to follow on the race line, trying to avoid that curb, hits it. Not bad there through turn 5. As let's see what his first sector is. His first sector is a 21.8. It's now into turn 6. Tricky hairpin corner, a possible overtaking opportunity if you get a good run out of turn 5. As he's now coming up to the next left-hander. Turn 7 into turn 8 now on the uphill right. Got to be careful here with the traction, because a bit too much heavy-footed on the throttle, you can lose the rear and spin around. You've also got to be careful that it doesn't disqualify you if you go into the grass area. Nice and tight leg. Also another tricky traction area if you don't get the gearing right. as he's now pushed some back markers, slow cars ahead, who are going to be beginning their flying laps in its qualifying session. As one of them just letting by the Haas. There's Jabraka ahead in the Alpine. As then what then? He's going to get a cheeky bit of tow. Hopefully it doesn't actually help him, because you're not really allowed to get slipstream for the tier. Well, slipstream in general in PSGL for qualifying. But here comes him up then to the line, and it's going to be a 1:16.3 then. So the time has been set for the first lap. As I believe Aries is the next one. Actually, the Mercedes Freaky Fast then sets a 16.6. If it lets me select Jones quickly. No, Jones then coming to the line, and he's done a 1:21.491 as we have the Red Bull who's next, beginning laps. That's Gustav. Currently in the second sector right now. Now in sector 3. Nice and tidy, hopefully he can finish off that good, as he had some good strong pace at the last couple of races of last season, where at Mexico he actually started near the back, and I believe he almost come back and won the race. So Gustav is my favourite for the title this year, obviously with Rowan. But let's see what Gustav can do at the moment. 16.8 on the soft compounded tyre, currently in 4th. As we have McLaren next, unfortunately is invalid. Shane is then next up after he's also invalidated. What about Slimbo? Slimbo's also invalid then, as LRB, is that LRB? It is LRB, and he hasn't invalid. He's coming to the line and got 6th quickest with a 1:17.164. So he's ahead of his teammate Similix, who's in 7th place right now, as the Alpine of Jabraka. Unfortunately doesn't get a good lap, but I believe he's on a lap now as we go on board with him then into turn 1, as I believe Jones just done a 1:21.4, so not a respectful lap time. Hopefully he can improve, as now on board of Draken through turn 5. Nice and tidy, holds it in 5th, DRS activated. Nice and tidy. 21.8 was the best I've seen right now, 21.9, so it's a 10th off the Aston Martin's time of Noel. In sector 1, oh, he's run deep at 6th and doesn't get an invalidation. Interesting. As he's now coming up to the tricky right-hander where traction is key, but you're also going to get a good exit, and it looked nice and tight there through that corner. As a new fast lap, OP_Toma, a 1:16.3 in the Mercedes, so he's picking up the pace for the Mercedes team. Mercedes did look strong last season with Gustav and Lotus. This season they ain't decided to pair up. As times are now coming in thick and fast. Shane does a 16.3 in the Aston Martin, so the Aston's also up there. See what Jabraka then can do in the Alpine. The only guys who haven't set lap times then is Teresa and Luca and Martin, who haven't set lap times at the moment. Jabraka comes to the line then, and it's going to be 6th place with a 1:16.479. It's going to be happy with that at least, as Martin is next up then. He will set a lap time. And comes to the line, and it's 12th, 1:16.797 then. He can't be too disappointed. He's in 12th place. Obviously it is banker, so he can easily improve. As Terrace is currently on an outlap, as nobody else is on flyers at the moment. Is Freaky Fast ahead on an outlap? No, he's not. He's actually behind Terrace. So we'll stay on board Terrace then, as he should be the next driver to start a flying lap. Let's see what he can do then. He's currently in 19th, obviously, with no lap time set. As there's yellows in sector 3 and 2. Obviously sector 3 there's a car slowing down. Sector 2 I don't know why there's yellows. Let's see what Terrace then can do. Around the final corner where you're going absolutely flat out now as McLaren's going to the pit lane. Get ready for their next attempt to set a good qualifying time. As here we go then, on board the Terrace now. Down the hill he goes. Approach to turn number 1, gets very close to the 100 nearboard. Nice and tight through 2, but he's invalidated. And that's going to be a shame there, so that's that lap over. I believe it was, who was next? I believe it's Freaky Fast who was actually next. He's on a lap. Oh, almost loses it out of turn 5 there. Keeps it under control. Good car control to stop him from spinning around. But that's at least cost him probably 2 tenths. So let's see what he can do. he backed off? Actually, he's actually backed off there, so he's not going to be happy with how that ran, and he decided to give it another go in a sec then. So we'll go on board with Aries, currently in 15th right now. He's begun his flying lap. Let's see what the Red Bull can do. Nice and tight there, out of 5. That's Yellow's in Sector 3. That's Terrace, I believe, moving out the way for drivers. But apparently Aries has got a purple Sector 1. So, is that true or is that wrong? I'll have to wait and see then, as he's now in the Sector 2 then. As Yellow's in Sector 2, apparently, I believe that's the other Alfa Romeo going slowly, letting the Mercedes and the Aston Martin through. As we have 8 minutes and 45 seconds remaining in the session. There's plenty of time for people to improve on their lap times, and probably another 3 runs if they're quick enough to get around the track. As he's 5.5 tenths up on his time now. 5.5 tenths would be a 16.3 roundabout. He could be challenging for pole here. He's right now in the Red Bull, currently in 15th with a 16.8. 5.5 tenths improvement, could be up there. As long as he doesn't invalidate through this final corner. Let's see what he can do then, coming up to the line. Literally pedal down to the floor. Comes to the line now, and that's Paul with a 1:16.198. He will be really happy with that, and he's picked up the pace for everybody else. See if they can match that time. Right now, provisional pole. As we go on board with the admin of the tier, I believe, Alex Murad. Or Murad, if that's how you're saying it, but I'm going to just call him Alex. Simple. Currently in 11th with a 16.6 in the Ferrari. He's 1.5 tenths up apparently in Sector 2. That'd be a 16.5, could move to 10th place, but if he wants to find a bit more time, maybe another 10th out of that, could move to 6th, as it's very close right now, this field. The slowest person at the moment is LRB in the Haas, currently in 19th with a 17.1. Then there's Teres with no lap time set, but hopefully he can get a lap time under his belt, as here comes the Ferrari into the pit lane, so that lap isn't going to count. Although Teres is up to the line, let's see what he can do. He's going to go 19th with a 1:17 flat, very close there. He's going to be annoyed that it's not higher up the field, but at least it's a lap on the board. Although both Alfa Romeos, 19th and 20th right now, very close towards one another. As that was because LRB improved with a 16.9. There's only 2 drivers in the 17s. As we're going to go on board, is Jabraka on a lap? Out of 5, there's a McLaren who's next. Trying to keep an eye on who's actually on flying laps. Noah then coming to the lines. Then we have a Red Bull, I believe, of Rowan, who's next up. And Noah goes on pole, 16 flat then, so the pace has been picked up. As Leone has made a mistake there, so he's pitting. So Luca's also pitting as well. There's a Mercedes there, I believe that's Thomas coming to the line now. Will he be able to go for pole? And the answer is no, just missed out though. Second though, 1:16.102. Very close right now, the Mercedes, first and second. The Aston of Shane moves into third with a 1:16.108. Just a couple of thousandth off OP Thomas then in second place. So the guys are easily improving their lap times, as I believe Rowan has just started his next lap. Martin, or is that Freaky Fast? No, I don't know who that was. I think that was Luca, to be honest. Have a look. Martin is next with LRB, I believe, going into the pit lane. It's Gustav. There he is. Gustav is on a flyer, but he's invalidated. Let's see what his time would have been. 1:25.3, so he actually backed off. That's a shame for him. A Slimbo on a lap. He's invalidated, that's no warp. He's pitting, definitely, as the fuel warning light is on. Let's have a look. Rowan is the next up then on a flyer, because the other Aston, I believe, is pitting. And no, Rowan's actually out of fuel, basically, so he's actually going to go in the pit, so he ain't got enough time for that lap to count. Is that Jabraka? It is Jabraka, sorry, my bad. That was Jabraka then. Yeah, I think he is pitting. Yeah, I think everybody's done their laps so far. Yeah, which is a shame. What about Martin? Right, is he going to come to the line and finish this lap, or is he going to pit? He's going to finish the lap, so at least he's coming to the line then, and that is 13th with a 16.4, 8.1, 3/10 improvement. He just needs to quickly get back to the pits and get back out for his final qualifying session, as we only have 4 minutes and 20 seconds remaining of the session, as there's a McLaren off there, and that is Slimbo. I don't know what turn that is, but it's near the final couple of corners there, so that's going to be shredded tyres if he's going another lap. He will be the next one to begin a lap, as he's in 8th gear. I don't know if he's going to pit. Yeah, he's pit. There's a Ferrari. That is Nando. Alex, who's the guy ahead of him then? Is that Luca? It is Luca, so that's the driver who's ahead of him. So Luca then will be beginning his flying lap then in the Williams. He's currently in 12th place with a 1:16.449. Only a couple thousands off 11th place with Nando in 11th. But let's see what Luca can do then. Pushing turn number 1, nice and tight there, gets the braking zone nice. Into 5th gear, up to 6th. Now into 7th, heavy braking zone, down to 3rd gear. Thought people would have took it in 2nd, then short shift to 3rd, but each to his own. There's a nice tight there out of 5, but he invalidates it, so just a shame there for Luca, and he needs to save a bit of fuel now, and hopefully doesn't invalidate his 2nd run. How about Alex? Currently in 15th with a 1:16.6, no invalidation at the moment. Let's see what he can do then in the 2nd sector as we're on board with the Ferrari. So he's out at 8. Ooh, looked like he hesitated on the throttle there, as it looked like the rear end was about to snap. He keeps it under control. Nice and tidy now through the right-hander. Nice and tidy braking zone. Also going to get a decent traction here to gain a bit of time. Nice and tidy there. Good car control, and up to the left-hander. Bit of a lock-up for the Ferrari. Now approaching the final couple of corners. Let's see what the Ferrari can do then. Yellow's in sector 3, obviously that's Carlos backing off. That's Luca backing off, I believe. So Alex then goes 16.5, goes 15th, so he does improve, but I think that's good enough. Right, so we have an Alpine, I believe, of Jabreka. Who's next on an out lap? It is. We have Jabreka then, who's on a flying lap at the moment in the Alpine. Currently 13th with a 1:16.4. I wonder if anyone can get into 15s and then this qualifying session, as we're not that far off, as the fastest at the moment is a 16 flat, or 16.045 to be precise. Jabreka currently 1.5 tenths up in sector 1, so he must be doing something right in the first sector. Hopefully he can maintain it in sector 2 and 3 to improve his lap time and probably improve his position. As currently he's in 13th, maybe wants to be inside the top 10 or outside. It's up to him. His area, he's just ahead of him. He needs to move out the way, and he does. And nice tidy for Jabreka then, as he has got a lot of traffic ahead of him though. There's a Haas going slowly, also a Red Bull, so they've got to watch out. There is a guy actually on a flying lap. They don't want to have quali bans for the next round. So they move out the way there for Jabreka. As we have less than 60 seconds we're into the session. Jabreka keeps it within track limits down that final corner now he approaches. Let's see what he can do then. Let's see what the timing sheet will say. As he's coming to the line now, Alpine to the line. Here goes Jabreka, and he improves to 2nd place. That was a big improvement there. 4 tenths, I believe that was. And that is a 16 flat. He is in 2nd at the moment. He was really happy with that lap. Very strong pace there from Jabreka as we go on board with Nando right now. Oh, it's the McLaren Slimbo finishing his lap. No, it's actually Tito. Tito comes to the line and goes 3rd quicker. 16 flat as well. Another driver in 16 flats. As now we have an Alfa Romeo. Is it Lonnie? It is Lonnie. And then we have, I believe, LRB. So let's see what Lonnie can do then. Currently 16th. And stays 16th then. At the moment, as LRB then improves his lap time to 18th with 16.8. As next up we have, I don't know who we have. Is that an Alpine? Sorry, it gets confusing with some colours being quite similar. I believe that was Freaky Fast into 8th. It was Freaky Fast. As Slimbo is next to the line. And then it's Terrace then, who's currently in 20th. Looks like he's going to stay 20th. I believe Noah Jones, just doesn't improve. And that's a shame there for him. What about the Red Bull of Aries? As the new Shane's actually took pole with the 16 flat then, 16.029. What about Rowan then? Coming to the line, and that is 18th then on the board. Let's go on board with his teammate quickly. As he decides to go in the pit lane. The Victoria of Lautus moves to 6th. As I believe Luca was on a lap. No, he's backed off. As obviously Freaky Fast has backed off. Jabraka is obviously pitting. Next up is Gustav. Doesn't improve. Stays 12th. And Tito's pitting. Lonnie, he improves on his lap actually. 16.490. Goes 15th on 3 laps. Old Sauce, I thought he was going to pit, so I wasn't actually expecting a lap time there from him. Yep, that is qualifying then. Over and done with. So your man who's on pole for the race, it is Shane. Shane's going to be happy with that at least. A 16 flat, very close. 4 people in the 16 flats. And as we go on board with the intervals, gap to leader. Wow, the top 5 under a 10th. The top 5. Now the whole grid from 1st to 20th, just a second is the difference. So a very close grid and a very competitive grid, which is awesome to see, especially when like the top 10 is under 2.5 tenths. So hopefully they can maintain this pace for the whole race and hopefully show us some exciting racing. But Shane then, your man, who's on pole position for qualifying as the last person to retire. And move on to the race session. Well then, there's your qualifying session then. So, Shane is the man on pole at Portugal with a 1:16.029, 16,000th ahead of Noah Jones in second. Then we have Jabraka in third, Tito fourth, Opie Thomas in fifth, Lautus sixth, Aries I believe in seventh, Nando eighth, Peaky Fast ninth. Now up 10th, Simblix 11th, Gustav 12th, Luke 13th, Martin 14th, Lonnie 15th, Alex 16th, Slimbo 17th, Rowan in 18th, LB 19th, and Teresa, unfortunately just not getting grip to the track, is in 20th. And whoever told me it was raining, they are absolutely right. It is absolutely throwing cats and dogs right now. It's chucking it down. So it's definitely full wet tyres. And it's going to be very interesting with the overtaking because now there's no DRS in play. So will this make Portugal a very tricky track to overtake? Or could there be a lot of incidents where people can just narrow through and get some good solid points for their teams? Have to wait and see, as now they're just doing their race strategies. We have 30 seconds remaining of them to do that. And usually we can see what tyres is for the race, but I'm guessing it is wet, because usually the tyres are where the pit crews are, but for some reason they're not there this time out. So it does look full wet, and I think it will be. If it's inters, I'll be very surprised, because there's a lot of puddles. As for some reason it says the lobby has been updated. I don't see how the lobby can be updated while we're in a race, but fair enough. As it is absolutely chucking it down, as I said. And yeah, it looks like full wet tyres then, and it is. Yeah, full wet is the way to go then for the track, as it is absolutely throwing it down and needs to get rid of that standing water. But there's a ton of puddles. There's a lot of puddles on the track. So my top 4 for the race prediction then, well, with qualifying prediction not really being that right. Race prediction, I'm going to go with Jabraka winning, Shane second, Tito third and fourth. I'm going to go with the other Aston Martin, TTG_Nawop in 10th, because he did show some good pace in quality, and as I said, top 10 was under 2.5 tenths, so I think he could, if he gets out of any danger, I think he could be up there at least. If you guys want to put your prediction, obviously, do leave it in the comments in the chat. As Harry is cheering on Noah and Martin, and of course Shane as well, so he's also cheering on Shane. As hopefully the weather can clear up near the end of the race. Hopefully we can have some dry weather, and hopefully that could spice up some overtakes, possibly. But right now, it's going to be very interesting how turn one's going to look like when we go to green flag racing, because it's raining. The braking zone's going to be a bit different. It's not going to be like the drives where you've got a lot of grip, so it's going to be very interesting how the drivers can adapt to this situation on the track as we wait and see. So we have 29 viewers, which is awesome for the F4 tier. Shane then is lining the guys up to the grid. He's on first, obviously. Noah in second. He'll be looking at turn one and looking at Shane alongside him. Who is going to be in front of the other? You never know, we could have Tito do a Hamilton like he did Hamilton in Monaco, where he stopped fourth and then got, I believe, second or first. So, I have to wait and see how turn one's going to look in the next 30 seconds. Well then, for PSGL, PS Season 3, the F4 tier lights are going to begin very shortly, as the predicted pit stop strategy obviously is this. As it looks like it's going to be wet one stop, so no pit stops then apparently in the wets. But here comes round of one for the F4 tier. We have 5 red lights then, as we're waiting for them to go off, and they're off then. And it looks like the McLaren's had an okay start. No one's spinning in the background there. Shane holds the lead at the moment as Red Bull there is going around the outside of one of the drivers. And at the moment we're going down the field, no major contact or anything like that. Nobody doing crazy dive bombs as we're keeping it nice and tidy in these conditions. And for some reason I have no spray. I don't know if that's a glitch or it's actually hardly any spray being picked up. Yeah, there's no spray. What's going on? Oh, look, back to the lead. Oh, I heard a bit of a shunt or something, as there's a lot of cars going wide there. I had a 6, and there's a Williams hitting a McLaren there in the background. I believe that was Luca. Oh, and there's, oh my god, there's almost carnage between the admin and the Williams. And oh, could the Williams drivers go towards one of each other? There's Alex and Luca then going side by side. In the turn 8, this is where the traction is going to be needed. And oh, he's almost got to move on the McLaren. Slimbo lacking there in the traction zone. And almost losing the position to Luca as they're going side by side through the left hand and now going up to the right. Oh, a bit more contact between the Williams and the McLaren. Alex sees this as an opportunity. Oh, there's contact, wing damage on the right end player Martin as he hits into the back end of Alex. And that's definitely going to have to be replaced for sure, as he's going to be struggling through the left hander and he can't really help it. The Haas is going to be annoyed with that, but he can't really have it. And there's more chaos in the background there between Martin and LRB and probably Terrace as well. Terrace looks like he has no damage, but the Haas and Williams definitely have damage for sure. Oh, look, Alex right now is in a bit of trouble. Freak Fast also in a bit of trouble, it looks like. And he could also have some damage as well. He's going into the pits. Same with the Mercedes of Uppy Thomas. So he must have picked up some damage at the start of the race. Oh, look, Noah in second place right now. Shane still leads. Oh, Shane there almost losing the rear end. Oh, look, these two are now starting pulling away from Jabraka, which isn't really that good for Jabraka's case, because he needs to stay with the slipstream to stay with these guys, because these guys could just run away. And you don't want that. At least you want to pile as much pressure as you can, as I think everybody's now calmed down since the start. The blood has cooled a little bit. But right now then, Luca, who's in a bit of a chaos through turn 6, is now in 12th place, so he's got through the field. No other overtakes right now, as the 4 victims of lap 1 of Uppitoma, Freak Fast, LRB and Martin. And Freak Fast has gone in the intermediates. That's interesting. Honestly, is this like a new visual glitch? There's no spray, it's doing me head in. It's throwing it down. I usually see spray and everything like that, but it doesn't help for commentator when you're going to guess when it's going to be like dry or anything, because usually when it's inters, when the spray stops, that's it, you know when it's dry. But there's yellows, and that's Martin, he's out. So we have a first retirement, he's lost out 6, and that's a VSC. Will that be called as a full safety car? Will they change it, or will people decide to pit under this VSC? And it's still VSC for now. Well, that's a shame there. Martin is our first retirement of the season. Hopefully he can have some better luck for the next round out. And it's still, yeah, I think it's going to stay a virtual safety car. Would have gone a safety car by now if it wasn't. So then, to calm down everybody a bit, Shane then still leads, Noah second, and Jabraka in third. Tito in fourth then, so top four held their positions. Aries is in fifth, Lautus in sixth then. Now we're up seventh with Nando eighth, Gustav ninth, and Simlix 10th. That is your top 10. As we'll look on the biggest position gainers then for this race, if it lets me. And the biggest position gainers is Leone and Slimbo. 4 positions gained, and same with Terrace as well. But the biggest loser is Obi Tomath with 12 positions lost. So it's not the best thing, and people are already getting penalties as well. And that is Simlix already picking up his first penalty. He's almost losing the rear out of turn 8. Oh, hang on a minute. Carnage are almost happening up ahead between Tito and Alex. Sorry, not Alex, Aries. There's too many A's in the slip here already. But Aries then hitting the Red Bull, trying to keep up with the McLaren. He's also got to watch behind him. He's got the AlphaTauri of Lautus, not that far behind. There's also, we have another battle further behind as well. Luca is causing a massive train in the background between Simbo. We've got Alex, Rowan, Slimbo, and I believe Terrace are just in the background there, trying to overtake this guy. Trying to keep an eye on all the fights on track at the moment. Oh no, my god, I just realised that. Massive crash, and that is Luke around. I just missed that. And also the Red Bull as well. Rowan hits the wall, and that is a safety car. So a safety car has been called. That has neutralised the race. And the guys who pitted early on are now getting a chance to catch up and have a second chance trying to fight to score some points. But Luca out of the race. So that's both Williams drivers out. So that is a shame, and Freaky Fast is still in the intermediates, so I said I can't tell if it was the right call. I don't think it is. We'll see if he pits then. No, he stays out, so LRB's pitting now. Is this a call to go on the intermediates? Because Freaky Fast is in, stayed out. Let's see what the Haas driver does then as he's coming into the pit lane. As I said, the race has now been neutralised at the time being. He's into the pits. The Inters are ready for the Haas driver, so he's decided to take the gamble. And he's leaving the pit lane, so are we going to go through all tyre compounds there, wet, Inters and dries? I don't see any clear weather yet. It's obviously still raining, but we've got a long way through this race to go. But he is on the intermediates as LRB, and well, he's going to hope for some luck in today's race. As Shane then still leads. I wonder if the guys from the lead are going to pit. And no, Jabraka is the only guy pitting. This is interesting. Jabraka's the only guy pitting. Are these guys doing a good masterclass strategy, or they're taking a big risk where the rain could lighten up in the next couple of laps and then the Inters start working? Because if the Inter's not going to work now, they're either going to get too cold and you're going to lose it and crash, or they're just going to be worn out before it's basically Inter time. So they're going to have to be very clever with the strategy, because usually if it was a good strategy a lot of people would pit, but right now only 3 people on the intermediate compound tyre, and Jabraka's taking the biggest risk here because I believe he was like 4th or 5th at least, and he's pit and he's now 15th, so it's going to be a big gamble as we all wait. And as the Mercedes now of Thomas is in the pit lane, is he going on the intermediates? Yep, Thomas in the pits for the Mercedes crew. Quick stop, nice and tidy, and he's out the pit lane. Oh, his pit box. He's going to be ahead of... Is he going to be ahead of the Haas? He should be. And he is ahead then of the Haas. Looks like the Haas has gained a bit of time then on the Mercedes. But the safety car will be around another lap, as we have the red Mercedes safety car, not the Aston this week for Portugal. Which is a shame. I wish you could like pick what safety car you'd like at certain tracks. Same with the liveries as well, like the McLaren's Monaco livery and the Red Bull's white livery. I think it would be a good thing to pick. The Codys are too lazy. We're still waiting then. Nobody else pit. See if there's any comments from the F4 chat. Luca thought it was a full safety car when he was driving so slowly. Maybe that's why there was a bit of a gap. Interesting, the stewards might have to look into that. And then also, if that was on the VSC, you can't go too slowly because you need to maintain the gap. Safety car surely will be in this lap though. Luca's left the session, obviously, since he's out. It's interesting though that not other people. The rain has died down, I will admit that, for the intermediates. But I don't know, Jabraka, Preakfast, Thomas and LRB could have pulled a masterclass strategy where they're going to have a pit stop ahead. Where the Inters are just brilliant compared to the wets. And if these guys have made a mistake where they haven't decided, oh crap, we ain't going to the Inters, Shane almost doing a dummy going into the pits there, but it's going to be very interesting how this plays out, as there is a guy going in the pit lane, Lautus, in the pits. See what he goes on, if he goes on another set of wets, or is he going Inters, because it's hardly raining now, it's literally spitting. There's a couple more people now in. Terra Racer, Rowan in the pits. So a lot of people now deciding, you know, we're going to risk it. We've got one more lap on the safety car. Let's take the gamble. It's Terra Racer then in this pit box, and also the intermediates. Same with Rowan, and Rowan actually gets jumped by Terra Racer, I believe. Well then, Lautus, Terra Racer and Rowan need to catch up with the field, as they will. But yeah, safety car will be in this lap now. Yeah, it's hardly rain. I think the guys who've stayed on wets have made a big mistake. The track still looks a lot wet, but unless there's more rain expected late, maybe that's why they've stayed on the wets, but it's hard to risk pitting, because now you've just cost yourself a ton of time. Oh, hang on a minute, there's a car off! There is a car off, that is Lautus. He's gone off under the safety car out of turn 6. He just either missed his braking zone, so maybe it might not be, but on the track it still looks for full wet tyres, but with the weather it looks like intermediates. It would actually help if I could see the spray, but the race control have confirmed then that the safety car will be coming in this lap and the cars will be going back to racing speed. Shannon is getting everybody ready, backing them up. And obviously you can go as slow as you want, as long as you don't brake and like go 0 miles an hour, obviously. But don't like go and then stop, because that is against safety car rules. There's a Ferrari getting prepared then. In the background there's Shane, ready to get us back to green flag racing on lap number 7, as we will begin lap number 8 very shortly, as he hasn't gone yet. Is he going? When's he going? He's going to actually be smart and wait right to the end and back everybody up. And he's gone. There we go. He's had a good start. Same with the Mercedes. And he is gone then. So as Aries managed to keep up with Noah Jones, as he's using all his ERS. And oh my god, there's a lot of people in the pits already. Tito, Simblix, Learning, Slimbo, all in the pit lane for wet tyres. Looks like they're going on to the intermediates. And the McLaren's double stack. And there's a car running off wide down the track. And that is Gustav. Maybe he should have made the call, as he runs wide. However, these guys are all pulling away from the intermediate runners. Maybe the Inters are not warmed up yet. It's not the Inters' time. Oh, it's Alex. Oh, no, sorry, Nando almost loses the rear then, out of 5. As we keep an eye on the action at the front, as we can see. Oh, Gustav almost losing the rear. Trying to let the Ferrari know that he's there in the mirrors. But right now, oh, Shane is now off the track as well. So the wets just don't look like they're going to be working at the time. As Gustav, Nando going side by side. Still going side by side. This could end in tears if there's a bit of contact through turn 8. Oh, Nando, very smart there, backed off. And oh my god, very good car control there from Gustav there. Bit of drifting out of turn 8, which we like to see. We also like to see good overtakes and good clean racing, as we have been seeing at the moment for F4, and it's a lot of miles improvement than last season. As Gustav and Nando still fighting out side by side in these tricky conditions, but now you can see the Inter guys are starting to keep up with them. So maybe it is time to do the switch and pit, because as I said, Simblix, Leone, Slimbo, Tito and Rowan, I believe, all pit for Inters. There's around the back then. Oh, he's had to lift off out of the final corner. Wasn't a good run. And he's into the pits. Also, so is now up Aries as well. They're in the pit lane, and 3 second time penalty for Lautus. Apparently corner cutting. But this is crucial, and there's a Red Bull there. It looks like he was actually taking a wing change. But Aries then leaves the pit lane. There's a Ferrari and AlphaTauri find out. And they all get good pit stops. But where are these guys going to rejoin in track? As there's a McLaren approaching. That is Tito. Tito was in 4th. He's now jumped Aries. And he's through. And oh, Simlix almost hits the rear, but he gets a good run out of 1. He tries to go on the outside, but Aries just keeps the door closed. And very smart. Look at Leone now, looking optimistic on Simlix. Side by side. Ooh, very close. And oh, the Alfa Romeo looks like he almost loses the rear end, but keeps it under control. LRB now in 5th place. Alex is just making mistake after mistake. These wets are not good enough to be out on track now. It's intermediates, definitely now. The rain is hardly raining now. So they need to pit. Same with Shane and Noah. They've got a gap, 2.2 obviously, but they're going to lose the lead, and this could cost them the win of the race. This big mistake in the pits. So the guys who've gone on Inters have actually played it smart. Have a look. Back on board with Alex. He's holding up a massive train. Freaky Fast, Lautus, Terrace, and I believe that's Red Bull of Rowan. And look at the grip difference. He's already got him on the inside line. As we get a shocking view, but he's there, side by side, out of the final corner. Shane's pit, Noah's pit, and the Ferrari is in the pit then, so the Ferrari is pitting. Now we're going to go on board with Terracer, as he's on board with Lautus now. They're almost going side by side. As Red Bull run, not that far behind. Right now, is they going to go make a move? No, he doesn't. Stays behind at the moment, but the 3 drivers in the pits, where they're going to rejoin on track, as on board with Shane at the moment. Has the McLaren jumped him? It's going to be, yeah, the McLaren of Tito. Because he's been on the better tyre, he's through. Tito is, if everybody else pitted another time, Tito would be a net leader. Shane drops behind Simlix, and Leone is going through. Aries picks up a penalty. This has kicked a massive spanner. Now up, he's in the pits. So, did he have some wing damage or something? Because he's had to pit again. Terrace now picking up penalties as we're on board with the action up front. Terrace and Rowan were going apparently side by side. I did miss that. Apologies for missing that. But it's very interesting turn events with the weather changing. As the Ferrari there of Alex, since he made a late call to go in the pits, is out of that train and needs to catch up. He's currently 5 seconds off the train. And Slimbo's at the back of that train. Tito has done an excellent strategy call pitting when he did to be ahead. But it would have been a lot more better if he pit when the safety car was out, obviously. But right now, your new leader is Jabraka. And his race paid off. He's now leading the race. Times are improving. So Freak Fast currently has the fast lap right now, 27. We're going to go on board with Nando as he's right on the tail of Gustav now. Just trying to get in there. He just gets a better run. Oh, almost too much of a bad run there. So he was getting a good run. He almost loses the rear end. Good car control, especially to the fast right-hander to keep it. As right now he can't make the move. There's Noah trying to get back on Shane, just ahead of him. As they only got a cheeky move done out of the pit lane on Shane there. So Shane probably a bit annoyed with that. And lost another position. And Tito, he's doing a cracking job now. Pulling away from Aries, 1.6 seconds. Right now though, we're going to stay on board with Nando and Gustav. Gustav not in a good world right now. He's got Nando all on his tail. He's a bit wide out of turn 8. That's probably going to pick him up a warning. But look right now, Nando looks like he's a lot more quicker, faster, and a lot more brave on this power compared to Gustav out of turn 8. As we're on lap 11 of this race. Now starting lap number 12 for the leaders. But these guys who I'm on board now are still on lap 11. Gustav trying to keep up with Noah. But Nando not that far behind in 15th. And now it's now starting to catch up. Gap 3.7. It was 5 seconds out of the pits. But it's now 3.7 as we're going to go on board with the battle for the lead in a bit. As Tito picks up a new fast lap. 126.7. Oh god, that AlphaTauri's rear end is really kicking out. It's not like in the current track conditions out of the final corner. And very good car control there as we're now going to go on board for the fight for the lead of the race between Toma and Jabraka. Currently gap 9/10 of a second. I'll keep an eye on the action up ahead as well. Hopefully we can see all the action today. Although we're going to go on board with Shane right now as the battle for lead has died down a bit now. Gap now 9/10, so gets under 4/10 and I'll go back on it. But there's no point going on board with it when it's 9/10 because obviously you're not getting DRS. But yeah, for now we're just going to chill out and watch the fight for 11th at the moment. Let's keep an eye on Rowan on Lautus there in 5th place. Jabraka sets new fast lap 26.6. Will Tito be able to beat that time? And this time Gustav doesn't lose the rear end out of that final corner. Oh, what just happened then? It looks like Lonnie just lost it there out of turn 2. I could be wrong. I don't know if there was contact or anything like that. My eyes just didn't see his car spin. There was too focused on the Aston. Leone's just lost it. Looks like out of turn 2. So he's either ride the curb and it's picked his car up a little bit, and then as he's picked the car up, the wheels are spinning, he's back on track, and he's just lost it. So, Lonnie then loses position 16th. Luckily, no damage or anything like that. That's that fight over with Shane, and that. But Noah, not that far off now. He's picked up the pace again. So, what's their contact? Because no, there's no front wing damage to the Aston or anything like that. So, I don't know. Tricky one that. Noah's picked up the pace where he was under 4/10. Gets back up to 6/10 at the moment, present time. So we're going on board with Rowan. As remember Rowan last season, he was in the Aston, one of the title contenders for the final round. As I believe we had 4 drivers, fighting for the championship. As Tito picks up a new fast lap, 126 flat. So he's picking up the pace. The McLaren 10 seconds off Terra Racer. So he has picked up the pace. Next going to be intermediates all the way to the end as Leone picks up a 3-second time penalty for exceeding track limits, so I'm guessing that's either 1. Turn 1 there, at least. People now picking up penalties. But yeah, as I was saying, Rowan last season was in the title fight as well as he loses the rear end at turn 8. He keeps it under control, trying to stay with Lautus then. Gap was increased to 8/10 of a second. Earlier on it was under 5, so just need to stay cool, keep it relaxed, and just try and wait for a driver to make a mistake, as we've seen. Leone made a mistake, Luca made a mistake at the final corner. I believe Martin made a mistake at one point. So, and that was when it was full wets. So, it is obviously a mix between dry and wet. But it's still easy to lose the rear and spin it around. Right now though, Rowan's lost that gap. It was at 9/10, it's now 1.1, so the pace from Lautus has picked up. So we're going to go back on board in Nando then and Gustav. Still very close towards one another. Closest fight on track right now. But this is it. This is what happens when there's no DRS. And even actually when there is DRS, it just gets stuck in a train. Hopefully there's overtakes very shortly as Ron's actually closed the gap back up to Lautus as we speak. So he must be very good in sector 1, but sector 2 and 3 just loses it. Well, at the present time, there's still 18 runners after lap 15. And usually, when I've commentated F4, there's usually a lot more crashes and everything like that. Especially last season, there was a lot of issues with the drivers colliding towards one another. And this year, hardly anything, as Noah is right on Shane's tail now. 2 tenths for 11th. Obviously, it's not a point-paying position, but I wonder if this is what it's going to be between Shane, Noah, Tomo and Jabraka, and maybe LRB all season fighting for the championship. Hopefully we can have another 5 drivers fighting for the championship in the last round, hopefully, but I think the chances of that happening again are very slim, especially when it's 15 rounds this year, this season. So there's one lap 16 then, so we're almost at halfway distance, around about halfway distance. Theres picks up a 3-second time penalty then. This next round is Britain then as well. So Britain will be a good round for these guys. It'll be a lot more quicker. I think also a one-stop, and maybe the weather for the rain obviously can pick up there. Shane has put away now to Noah. It's back to 6:10. So Noah closed up, as now up, picks new fast lap 25.9, so we are in 25, so the track is improving. Now, as I said earlier, I didn't see skies lighting up. I am now seeing the skies getting brighter. So, it's an error there. I had it before turn 8. I wonder if the weather is actually going to dry off near the end of this race. Maybe that could be the perfect call for Jabraka to stay out. But it also could actually add a tricky little twist. Maybe that's why the guys on the wets didn't pit when the safety car was out, because they thought, well, we might as well risk our tyres, save our tyres for the Inters run, and if it does dry out, say around about lap 25, maybe 26, is when their laps will probably die off. Inters laps die off and tyres die off. That's when they'd make their pit stops. So maybe if there is dry incoming, and it's around about that time, then that may be a perfect pit stop to pit, so they could also have the perfect strategy if that is the case, obviously. But as well, lap 17, the rain hasn't stopped or died down as much. It's around about the same as Alex picks up 3 seconds, Simblix picks up 3 seconds. It's going on board with Nando right now as he's closed back up. This is it, everyone closes up at certain parts of the track, and then after that they just can't get past each other because of either the train. Ferrari not good on the traction though either. They turn 6, I believe that is. What's going to happen as Rowan's picked up the pace as well, but I said you can pick it up and then just drop off. As Tito and Aries now pulling away from Simlix, now I got 2.5. So Aries is actually keeping up with Tito. Tito to Terrace 7.7 now. The gap was 10 seconds, but he's still 10 seconds from Rowan, so he hasn't really caught up to the others. It's just Terrace are just dropping off the pace in 7th on those 10 lap old Inters. Rowan makes a mistake out of 9 or 8 or whatever. Yeah, that is 10-8. Oh, hang on, there's yellows. That is Leone again round. He's not having a good day in the office with the Alfa Romeo, and he's in 17th. So looks like Terrace at the moment is the only guy who could score them points for the team. But luckily, no VSC or safety car, and no damage for the driver, and he keeps it under control. So hopefully this lets me select Rowan. As yet, Rowan's dropped off now. Freaky Fast, on the other hand, we could have a possible overtake either finally. Freaky Fast has caught LRB. LRB's dropped completely off the pace. And Freaky Fast looks like he's going to go for it. Getting up the speed, and he's gaining, and he's going for the move. On the inside now. And he's taken third place from LRB. There's more chaos in the background. That is Leone. He's run again. He's really not liking those tyres. He needs to keep it under control though. Stand aboard of LRB as he might make another overtake. Or could he be overtaken again? Lautus not that far behind. And yep, DRS is enabled. So it's apparently dry weather. It is dry weather apparently, but it's still raining. So DRS has been enabled. So, as I said, the guys who pit when they needed to pit have made a brilliant call. I wonder if the leader's going to pit. There's Jabraka. Would you pit though? It's still raining. The track's still going to be damp, obviously. Softs, 10 laps. To be honest, Softs I believe could make it. It's going to be a push, obviously, but I believe Softs can make it. So if he does pit, he goes to soft tyres. Be a good call. But yeah, he is. He's in the pits, and so is Mercedes. So I wonder if everybody's going to follow him, and hopefully he doesn't get held up. As Rebel driver or Rowan decides to stay out for another lap. And you can see how powerful the undercut is around here as well. So has he made a mistake with that? Hopefully the Alpine doesn't get held up. Oh, and he does. Jabraka is getting held. He's holding up his teammate as well. Or was that a glitch saying he was getting held up actually? It was Loudson in the pit lane as well. As yeah, everybody is in. Oh, look at Simbo's pit stop. He's lost a bit of time, probably a second at least. And both Ferraris, they're going to lose a chunk of time, Nando and Alex. Rowan though, still out on track. I think that was the biggest mistake he's made, to be honest. He's still in the intermediates. If it actually told me his delta between him and Jabraka, would be brilliant. A couple of guys are on mediums to have better tyre wear. Maybe for the end of the race. Slimbo, Alex, and Warp and Leone got on mediums then. So others I think the softs can definitely make it. Not really that much of a drop off. And some guys think it's too big of a drop off and decide to go mediums. Well, Rowan's coming into the pits now, so Rowan in the pit lane then. Let's see where he's going to come out on track compared to everybody else. I think he's going to drop, I think 9th, to be honest. I think he's lost way too much time on those inters, and I think he should have pit when he should have. And he's lost 2nd, 3rd, 4th, 5th. Maybe that was too much actually saying 9th. He's actually got 6th. He went side by side with Terrace though, and Terrace dipped, so he did lose a position. He's 7th, and he did lose a ton of time, but not too much to drop him where I said he would have dropped him. But he's still ahead of his teammate, 7th place. He's doing a good job for the Red Bull team. If it lets me select. Go on board Shane now. He's now trying to fight for Simblix just to get a point, if he has to, for 10th. There's no upsets. New fast lap 21.9 on the mediums. Battles all over the track. We also have a battle for 3rd, Freak Fast, LB and Lautus. Still fighting it out up ahead. We'll keep an eye on that fight as well, obviously. We're also on board with the other Haas and the Aston. Shane Simblix fighting for 10th at the present time. Drags its new fast lap 20.5. 20.1 is the new fastest lap. 9.4. Is anybody else going to improve their lap times? That is no for now. I guess the team is going to improve. Yep, a 119.3. A 119.324 from Aries. Anybody else going to improve their times? That is a no for now. Now these guys have had the opportunity to save all their ERS, not really use it, but now, because it's dry, their ERS ain't going to be saved. As now sets new fast up 19.2. As I was saying, their ERS ain't going to be saved as it was in the wet conditions. So they actually are going to use it. And Shane looks like he's going for it. On the inside, dive bomb into the hairpin. Bit late on the break-in. Yeah, Haas does the switchback, and that is a cracking switchback there from Slimblitz, and it just shows Shane up there. Shane is not going to be happy with that, as he's just been schooled by the Haas, and it's costing him a bit of time now, because Noah, he's getting into the fight. So on lap 22 out of 33 of this race. Not that many laps remaining as Leone picks up another 3-second time penalty. I mean, it's still amazing. Only 18 people are still remaining. I wasn't going to expect this around Portugal. Jabrag sets a new fast lap 19.1. Toma sets a new fast lap 18.7. So times are improving. So will Shane now go for him this time round before the next straight? Because he knew it didn't work on the last hairpin. So will he go for it this time? Simblix tries to Noah sets a new fast lap in 18.6. He's not that far off the Mercedes, off the Aston Martin and the Haas. Will he go for it? He's thought about it. He's staying behind. Oh, bit of contact behind. And I think Simblix hit. And there's a safety car. There's Rowan. He is out. Rowan, it looks like he's hit. Where the hell has he gone? He's lost it somehow. Out of turn 2. He's either... I don't know what the hell he's... How have you done that, Rowan? Out of turn 2, he's on the other side of the track. Usually, if someone's gone off, you're going straight off into the barrier on the left-hand side, not the right. And he's gone off the barrier somehow on the right-hand side. I don't know if he's lost a rear, touched the curb, or something. Has done something to his car, and there's a safety car. So the guys who went on mediums have now got a free pit stop, 1 soft tyres, and this now spices the race up even more. Lap 23, probably going to start under the safety car on lap 25. We're going to go back to green flag racing. Very interesting. I wonder if any of the guys up front are going to decide, you know what, I want fresher soft tyres, I need a pit, risk it, or anything like that. Nope, don't look like it. Yeah, I don't blame him, to be honest. Only going to lose a couple of positions for an extra few laps, but I was on about those only 18 guys in, I was only 17. So that's a shame for Rowan, and he was having a good race, and he was doing a very cracking job. But that is a shame for the Red Bull team, and only one driver looks like going to be scoring points for them. Still in the safety car conditions then. Right now the Alpine team are doing very well. Jabrek and Freaky Fast, 1st and 3rd. And Luca did apologise for the VSC issue. He has no words to say, but he's apologised, which is respectful and good sportsmanship from him, and hopefully he can have a good race next time out, which is Britain. Same for mine and Rowan. Hopefully they can have a good round. Now, we're trying to find out what actually happened to Rowan, and I will let you guys know if he tells me. As we're still in the safety car conditions right now, as we're waiting for a lot of drivers to catch up. Leone is in 17th, he needs to catch up. Penalties right now, let's have a look at the penalty situation. Oh, wrong button. Fast lap obviously is an 18.6. I'm guessing that's going to easily be beaten. So penalties right now. LB and Lauter's 4th and 5th with 3 second time penalties. Aries in 7th with a 6 second time penalty. And then Terraracer and Simblix 11th and 12th also with 6 second time penalties as well. Gustav only got a 3, so he'll gain those 2 positions if he stays within 3 seconds. Nando obviously no penalties. Alex got 3 second time penalties as well, and Leone's got 6. So that is your penalties at the present time. There's probably going to be more penalties later on. And from Rowan, he said he hit the curb on the inside of turn 1, then hit the wall with 1 kph and still retired. So he's lost it out 1. He's literally got slow to a standstill basically, and he's just tapped the wall with a slight touch and the wheels just dropped. So, yeah. Well, that's a shame there for Rowan. He was doing a good job. And it is a shame. And hopefully, as I said, Rowan, have a good weekend for Britain, hopefully. And just relax, chill out, and just look forward for the rest of the season. There's still 14 more rounds. Plenty of time for you to fight for the championship this season as well. And win races and score points for the team. As we're still in the safety car conditions, we're waiting for only to pick up the pace to try and catch up. He's currently 15 seconds off 16th, who's then 10 seconds off 14th, so he's 25 seconds off the safety car queue. Off the lead, actually no, he's actually 38 seconds off the safety car queue. Interesting. Yeah, so he's got, yeah, safety car's definitely not coming in this lap. Next lap it should come in. So we're going a lap again under the safety car. I was only decided to pit again then for another fresh set of sauce. Action has died down now. I believe SDF1 tier has started. So you guys do want to tune into that? PSGL F1. I believe it started actually. Only has now caught up, so yeah, safety car will be in this lap. Lap 26 then. Will be lap 27 shortly, so not that many laps remaining. Safety car has been called into the pit lane. And yet PSGL F1 tier is on now for the PS tier, and obviously Matthew Order is going to smash the competition. And good luck for him in that tier. But lap 26 then. When will Jabraka start? His restart then is he's getting everybody ready. He's basically doing the Shane tactic, and Shane's been given another chance to win this race. He's going to get a couple position with penalties, but and there we go. Jabraka has gone. Everybody else has followed him. Oh, and Simbolix has had a 5-second penalty with Shane. I wonder if that will be removed as we're going side by side now between Freaky Fast, the Mercedes, and LRB. Almost going side by side into one. And oh my God, Shane shoves Aries completely off the track. Well, that's probably going to get investigated as we see Terrace making a dive now on the McLaren. As Shane trying to make another move on Tito. Aries now in the battle with Noah Jones. As cars are going side by side, yet again Shane versus Noah. Another car completely off the track. I believe that was Gustav there. As we see almost 3 wide, almost into the hairpin corners. There's a McLaren and an Aston almost going into blows. 3 wide into the hairpin. More cars getting shoved off wide. And oh my God, this is definitely going to end in between Noah and Tito. Tito backs off. Aries tries to make a move. Aries almost goes round. Aries makes another dive bomb out of turn 8. God, I said this was a lot better with the racing. But Jesus Christ, everyone's almost hit each other just under a lap. However, Jabraka keeps the lead in. Thomas second, Freak Fast third, LRB fourth right now as Lautus in a world of trouble. He's got Shane right on his rear end, and then he's got Jones, Tito, and then Aries not that far behind. Zloni in the background now in 16th as he's actually fighting away with Alex. And they're going side by side. We're all going to keep an eye on the front. They're going side by side right now. And we're still going side by side. We're probably going to go 3 wide. The other Aston of Nawab, he's trying to make a move on the Ferrari as well. And he's going for it on the inside line. And he's going to go for the move. They're going side by side. Hopefully this doesn't end in tears. They've got to give each other space. And brilliant racing there between Alex, Norwood and Leone there. Great racing. They're still going side by side. Out of turn 5, Alex is going. But Shane, sorry not Shane, Leone is off the track there. And the McLaren and the other Ferrari almost made contact. As we're going side by side now with Shane and Lautus going side by side. Through the left hand. Who's going to be ahead of who? Razor, they're going. Oh, there's contact on the round. Shane is round. He's going back on track. Oh my god. Good car control to save it from hitting others. But he's lost a lot of time. As we see 3 wide now between Noah, Lautus, Tito going side by side. Aries is trying to get in the mix as well. As we're still going side by side between the McLaren and the AlphaTauri, Red Bull and Mercedes. Very close, very wheel to wheel. No carnage as of yet, but very good car control from Shane and Lautus. Also positioning, you can see the Mercedes now diving, bombing it on the McLaren. Bit of contact there, and shoving him off. Probably some side pod damage at least, but he's kept the wheel, no ring flying off or anything like that. As Aries trying to get in there. There's more yellow flags in the background. That is Gustav in 17th. That's Noah. Tito still going side by side on the final corner, but it looks like Merck has just got him. But will the Red Bull bounce back as Freak Fast sets new fast lap in 18.614, I believe that said. As Noah and Lauter's going side by side. We're going on board with Tito's looking for a possible inside line. He's looking for it again as Nando's retired from the session. He's retired in the pit lane now. So he is out of the race as we only have 16 runners remaining. Only 4 DNS, but this action is really heating up as we have the Aston Martin of Nawab. He's had a cracker of a restart now. He's making a move for 11th as he's got the McLaren on the inside of him. Probably going to go for the switchback. Does the dummy and he gets the move. Good move there. The McLaren is not finished him though. He's trying to keep it in there, but he can't. There he goes Nawab. He is through into 11th. As we're on lap 29, you know, look, it's really picking up now since the dries have come into play. As the top 4 right now, just pulling away. Toby Tomandos keeping up with Jabraka, so we could see a last little ditch fight between first, second, and third for the lead of the race near the end of the race. So we can see a overtake in the background there between Nawab again and Terrorist. And Nawab now moves into 10th. The Aston Martin is on a mission right now, and his next objective is Shane, just ahead of him in 9th. Going on board with Lautus then. He's going to get DRS on the Mercedes. He is catching up, but is he catching up quickly? Not really. Simply sets a new fast lap in 18.470. As McLaren, Tito in 7th place. Weighing his wings. Oh, he loses the rear end. Oh, that's going to open the door probably for Aries to make a move. He's thinking about it. He's almost through. Will he make the move down into the hairpin for a big dive? And the answer is yes, it is. And he's going for it. He sends it. Hits the McLaren and he's round. And that's his own fault there. And he is round and loses a ton of time. But look at the action up ahead. There's action just for 10th position. This is just for 10th. The McLaren, Aston Martin, Alfa Romeo. It's just too many cars trying to make one overtake. And Terrorist's actually done quite well. Lonnie now in 11th somehow. So the action is still kicking off. We're only on lap number 30. The Bracker still leads, 8/10 the gap is between him and Tom. Freaky Fast just trying to keep within that window. Oh, as Leone makes an error. Looks like Nawap's trying to make the move on the outside. Nawap trying again, but the Ferrari of Alex he's got to watch out for in the background. You don't want to take out the admin of the tier. As 18.3 is our new fastest lap from Toma. Is anybody going to beat that lap time? Look, the action is really heating up in the background now. As look at Alex, he's just right on the tail of that Aston Martin. We're going back on board with Slimbo though. He's on the medium tyre and he's doing an excellent job keeping up with the guys on the softs. And obviously the soft tyres are going to be a lot more grippier, but he's somehow managed to keep up with this train. Terrace then in 9th. I think it's game over for him. It's time for the McLaren Slimbo to make a move. He's going for it. Look at the Haas in the background though. We're just going to miss out because of the leaderboard. The Haas looked like he tried to make the move on the other Aston. And wow, the McLaren isn't in Alfa Romeo sandwich. Terrorist, Leone is sandwiching Slimbo right now. He's in a world of trouble if he can't get past Terrorist because he's got a lot of hungry drivers behind him trying to get the position as well. Lap 31 out of 33 of this race, and no, Teres. Oh, look at Leon, he sent it there. And Slimbo going around the outside of Teres. Teres didn't see this coming. Slimbo's on the inside now, through the left-hander. Coming up on the other left-hander, he's now through. And he's going to make them position, count, and yes, he is through, and that is nice. But is that a crucial error? Because now he's not going to get DRS. He's going to be a sitting duck on this straight. As Gustav picks up a 3-second time penalty, which is going to be added to his time. A lot of people now starting to pick up penalties when they're getting aggressive. And Leone and Teres are now two teammates going to go into war. With now in 12th place, not that far behind. But look at McLaren, he's an absolute sitting duck. Teres makes the move back on him, and look at Leone trying to go around the outside out of turn 1, out of turn 2. Is he going to make the move? He was off the track there, and he's actually going to go for the move on his teammate, or try to at least. And he's actually done him. Teres has just been mugged off by his own teammate. That's now, look at that Aston, he's come out of nowhere, but he's trying to find a gap to way through. Teres runs deep. Slimbo now makes the move on the inside. Leone's not had a good exit. And oh my god! Jesus Christ, the Alfa Romeos have took each other out! What is going on? I thought F4 was shining a new leaf, keeping it clean, but Jesus. I don't know what he just did. He just like went left and instantly swiped right and just murdered him. That is definitely getting investigated by the stewards, and I won't be surprised if Leone gets a big penalty for that. If it is what I think it is, him swiping him. Obviously, it could be just him losing the rear, but that looked like a swipe, and yeah. Well, that's him done and dusted as one the penultimate lap of this race. We're going to be starting the last lap now of Jabraka, who's still leading as Tommy picks up a new fastest lap, 18.2. But getting fastest lap is one thing. You're going to have to make the move, but we are going to go on board with them right now. As enough of the action at the back. This is important. The fight for the lead. Who's going to get it? Who's got enough ERS? Who's got enough knowledge around this track for one last lap? Now Slimbo now up, still fighting for 9th. I think it's basically game over unless the Mercedes can find some pace in this remainder of the second sector, because right now Jabraka looks like he's going to take the win. He's trying his best, using all the ERS he can use at the present time. He's just going to has to find a good line, get a good exit, and he rides that curve. That isn't good. Terabizza picked up a 3-second time penalty. That could be crucial for him as Gustav's in the pits, so he will be the last one to come across the line. Obviously, he's in 16th, so he's just entering turn 1 now. As Jabraka looks like he's going to take the victory, and I think he is. He's done a good job, and he's going to be happy for the first round, making a masterclass strategy to pit. When it was the safety call on the Indians, I questioned his strategy call, but he's managed to make it work. Jabraka then takes the win for the F4 tier for the first round. Tomo in second then. Freaky Fast will round off the grid in third, with LRB in fourth. It might lose out because of Noah in fourth now. Tito fifth, Shane sixth, LRB is in seventh, Lautus is in eighth. Now Warp then, will he hold ninth? As Slimbo, no he doesn't, Slimbo in ninth. Alex takes 10th. Now Warp in 11th then, Simblix 12th. Aries then, looks like he got some wing damage later in this race. Rebel won't be scoring any points there, so that is a shame, especially when they could have had a double point finish. But 13th for Aries. Terra Racer then, I think, was collected in that because he has no front wing, unless that was because of the Leone thing. I wonder if Aries actually was collected in that actually as well. So, yeah, other than that, it was quite a clean race. But Leone and Terra Racer, I think, yeah, there's a... Oh, hang on a minute. No, he ain't got a punch. It looked like he had a punch there where the lightning does come in. But Terrace at 14th, Leone 15th then, and Gustav in 16th. Gustav pitted and he almost caught these two back up, so wow, what a race, and a very exciting race, especially since it was wet at the start and then dry at the end. So I think 16 out of 20 finishing is not that bad. Would be better if everybody finished, but we do like a bit of drama in these races then. But Jabraka, he was teammates with DV last season, and he takes the win this time out, and he will be happy with that, especially starting third and doing a two-stop strategy in the race. So Jabraka wins the race with Tom in second, Freaky Fast third, Noah in fourth, Tito in fifth, Shane sixth, LRB seventh, Lautus in eighth, Slimbo ninth, and Alex in 10th. That is the top 10 who will be scoring points for today's race. And obviously the fastest lap point goes to Opie Toma in second with a 118.179. Now up 11th, Simblix 12th, Aries in 13th, Gustav 14th, Terrace and Leone 15th and 16th. However, they will be probably getting investigated anyway. And actually Gustav does beat the Alfa Romeos by penalties. As Nando then, Rowan and Luca and Martin all DNF'd from today's race. Well then, this has been PSGL PS Tier Season 30 F4 Tier Round 1 at Portugal. I'm your commentator Iron I was Jared Fosbury. It's been a great race, it's been great to commentate. Join us next time out where we're at Britain, which is next week on Monday, same time obviously, 7 o'clock UK time. I will be joined in the comms booth with Sondre Sohaug, the legendary commentator who used to be partnered with Lewis Marshall. Some people might know him as the Mong brand of the comms. So he'll join me for the second round, and hopefully you guys can give him a good time out. But until then, goodbye for now.